Hello folks, Scott Grove here by request to do basically a review on Strat Plus guitars in general. A buddy of mine said that, pointed out more actually, that a few of my Strat Pluses have never actually ended up on camera and plugged in. So let's get all those done. I have a lot of different forms of Strat Pluses. They made the Ultras, the Deluxes, blah blah. This is strictly about the Strat Plus, nothing else. So I'm not going to be bringing out Ultras or Deluxes or nothing, just Strat Pluses in all their different phases. Okay, and there were 3 or 4 different variations that happened to go along. And I'm going to go backward chronologically in the way that they were done, and not make you have to listen to too much of this, but the history is the part that I like to report, but you'll get to hear all the guitars. And there's just only 6 of them that I'm going to be doing. That's all they have as far as straightforward Strat Pluses. All stock, all identical except for 3 different things, I'm sorry, that got changed throughout the years. Okay, so Strat Pluses were made starting in 1987, and they were discontinued in 1997. Okay, so they did a 10-year run, and people confuse this with a lot of things I say. The Strat Plus is my favorite American-made Stratocaster ever. Okay, it's not my favorite guitar ever. It has a lot of my favorite things on it, going for it, but you know, there's so many things wrong with so many things for me. Okay, so is this my favorite guitar in the world? No, but it's my favorite American Stratocaster ever made, period, bar none. Number one reason is because simply for the lace sensor pickups. Lace sensors continue to be my very favorite pickup of choice, period. I enjoy the silver lace sensors in all 3 positions. All the Strat Pluses had 3 gold lace sensors, which are the lowest output of any lace sensor, but they are vintage lace sensor sounding, and that's why they are so low output, to give you that superb clean sound. There's none, no magnetic drag to make your guitar go out of tune sounding and blah blah blah. So you can put them as high or as low as you care to put them. So again, here you go, 3 gold lace sensors. The bridge is great. This is, when you see these type of saddles, these began in 1987. You'll see music stores, you will see the pros and blah 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 out there that will be selling guitars online. It could be from Manny's Music or some of the biggest music stores in the world, and they don't know the difference. They'll sell these as 1984s, and when none of this stuff ever was invented till the Corona factory opened back up. So again, these were actually meant to be the Jeff Beck signature models when they first came out. That's what this whole thing was about. And then Jeff farted around. Then he ended up with more of a ultra type of thing later on. Okay, so he ended up with them. But this whole thing began just simply as a Jeff Beck quest for a signature guitar for him. Then he just, like I said, farted around for basically till this ended, and then he got his own signature models. Okay, does Fender use lace sensors to this day? This being 2012 when this video is recorded. Yes, they do, but they will not put the name lace on them anywhere. You know, stuff like the what do you have, all the James Burton signature models and some of the Clapton models, and everybody's got different versions, and Beck again, and those 2 guys go back and forth on different versions through Fender. They've got like 20 different versions each. But yes, on the I've got all of them, all the James Burton ones, but they're still lace sensors, silvers, but they just won't put the name on them because of contractual things. So anyway, let's get to the guitars. This one here first is a 1993. Let's get a serial number in here. Now I will give you some serial number discrepancies later, which is the key, but I'm going backward. This was the last version of this. In the back there's actually what's called a hip shot trim setter. It's supposed to return your tremolo right back to 0 every time. Okay, does it actually work? Some people say no, some people say yes. I say no. I've never seen it done. I've never had one of these guitars ever in 50, 60 of them that I've owned ever stay in tune. But that's why I deck all the tremolos, which means to tighten up the spring claw in the back so that your whammy actually sets on your guitar. It sets on deck. It's on here. And I put toilet paper in the back and shut the springs up so you can't hear them. And this is on here just so I don't lose the original whammy bar. The only thing I really hate about the Strat Pluses are the fact that they came with white pick guards. Yeah, you can change them, but I keep everything original for sale later. I could really give a rat's butt about any of these guitars. I just collect them just to sell them later. So that's all it is. I won't actually ever play any of these for the most part. Not that I don't like them, because I love them, but just too many other great ones to choose from. Okay, again, there's that bridge. The Hip Shop trim setter came along way in the middle of the production, so right about this time. And by this point, they had the LSR roller nut, which is a beautiful thing. Every guitar should be equipped with one. Why have to put bone or plastic up here, which sounds different than your metal frets? Might as well have a metal one here too. So why have open strings sound different than your fretted notes? Okay, and then ball bearings right here. So they just go right through here. No need for no string trees. None of that junk. There's no need for it. So you have a perfectly straight headstock, which won't break when your guitar falls over, like Gibson's will, or any other tilt back thing will do it. They all break. If they tilt back, they break. Period. And what else do we have here? We have the kind of brushed chrome looking locking tuners. They were Spurzels at the beginning, and I will show you those in the beginning. But this is the LSR nut, which they went to right about this same year too. At first they used the Wilkinson nut in 2 different variations, which I'll show you. Okay, so there you go. Ball bearings equals 0 friction. So these would be great for Les Pauls or acoustics or anything that, or especially like, good lord, Explorers and anything with, and Deans, surely. Anything that has weird places where your strings go after they go here and then they have to go way over there and they bind in your nut. You don't want a bound nut. That's never good to have your nut be all bound up, unless you're into that kind of thing. Then you have to use what's called nut sauce and then get it cut right. Then it's always going to, if you change string gauges and you got to cut them again and there's no going back because you already made the holes too big, you want to go back from 11s back to 9s where you should be. And because string gauges make no difference in tone whatsoever on electric instruments. Acoustics, yes. Electrics, no. If that's against anything you believe, then you've been told wrong. But string gauges make no difference unless you are tuning down. Like Stevie Ray, they're like, you use 13s. It's like, well, he tuned to E flat too, so you have to make up for the string tension by going to a heavier gauge. That's the only reason he used that. Before that, yes, he was there playing along in 9s and blah blah blah. Okay, so let's get to the guitar. This here is called a blue pearl dust, which means blue sunburst with sparkles on it. Okay, maybe you can see it back here, maybe you can't. There you go. These goofy lights. Okay, the only thing that would have made this a lot better would be if you could actually, you know, have a button here where you could actually get all 13 pickup combinations, you know. But this standard 5-way switch and the wonderful Tbx Tone Control that every guitar should also have. A lot of the Japanese made Fenders had them. These are 250K pots. They, over in Japan, they had the 500 and the 1s and the 2s and everything for the humbucker ones, and then you could split them via the coil splits, and then you could change the values of the everything. It was wonderful. I'm way more into the Japanese stuff because they just flat out did everything better. But as far as a USA model Strats, I like these, and I would love these to be like a 24.75 scale or 25-inch scale, but this 25.5 is just, it's not my thing. So anyway, let's put the camera here down where all the stars are going to be. I'm going to just go through these and you'll probably never see my face again. Again, going through the Johnson Millennium JM150 amp. and I'm going to just go through each little thing with you and not spend a whole lot of time on any given guitar. Just strap one on, put it away, strap another one on, put it away, go through all 5 selector switches and tell you about the TBX first. Tbx Tone Control. TBX stands for Treble Bass Expander. Okay, normal tone control on 0. These are the best tone controls ever made. Everybody should have one in each position. 0 to 5, and it's got an indent at the 5, is like 0 to 10 on any other guitar. So here it goes from 0 to 5 in the 2 position. Back to 0. Back up to 5. Okay, now from 5 to 10, this is not active, this is passive, which is a beautiful thing. It expands, which means you get a boost in the treble and the bass. Mids stay where they were. So you get this. Now boost them. Back to normal. Back to 10. Okay, so it's especially useful if you're back here in the the 4 position. We're using the middle and the neck. Okay, here it is back to 5, which is 10 on most guitars. Now we go to 10. You can hear a lot of extra shimmer on top, and if you are listening to this through real speakers instead of headphone speakers, or if you have good speakers on, you know who you are. If you're listening to it through crappy nickel-sized laptop speakers, then all these are going to sound the same, which they should actually. But in order to sound beautiful, these guitars sound amazing. As far as sound goes, there is not much that can beat these, period. Okay, I just like a little shorter scale length, but everything else makes all the sense in the world. The roller nut. This LSR is standard gear on every guitar I have custom made. Okay, so that is always put on all my guitars, and lace sensor silvers are put in on my custom guitars. So this made enough difference, and the TBX Tone Control I end up putting in on my guitars too. So this was a huge impact on what I wanted in guitars. And then I just wanted to go to height compensated, which these are. Locking tuners. Earlier they weren't, but these are as they went along. Okay, so this was the last year. This is 1993. It's the newest guitar I have of the 6. So, but they all were like this until the end in '97. Okay, so let's just go through. You know what everything does now, and the only thing that could have been cooler was a roller bridge. That would have been great. No more hang-ups. Nothing to oil. Nothing to grease. Nothing to. I mean, no friction here, no string trees, beautiful. I mean, nothing. I mean, it's perfect. Okay, so here we go. Position 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And now I'll stay in 5 and just throw this is the slightest overdrive, little bit of tube overdrive on it. Go to the 2 and do the same thing. Okay, so that's what they sound like, and that is it. Okay, I will just simply unplug this, and you get to wait on me because I have a weird thing about putting away my toys, and that is just the way it is. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just putting away my toys. Okay, I've got one more out. The rest will be on the front row, so it'll be quicker. Okay, this is the silver pearl dust finish in 1989. Does it have height compensated tuners on it? Yes it does. 89 has height compensated tuners. Everything else is identical. They did not have the trim setter in the back. They had a third spring. So 3 springs in the back. Difference between this, it has a maple fingerboard. And it has the Wilkinson, full Wilkinson. There are 2 rollers in here. A big bar that goes all the way through, and another one that goes all the way through. So you take it over top of the first bar, and it goes underneath the second bar. Well, let's go underneath there to show it to you. You can kind of see what goes on there. But again, of course, no string trees. If people put, and you'll see this a lot, people put string trees up here because they're retarded. That takes the volume of these down to nothing. Okay, these are really going up in price, especially the next 4. I paid double for the next 4 because of the finish, or triple sometimes. Okay, so the black pearl dust, most people end up putting that black kind of shell mother of toilet seat pit guard on it, which I always used to do too. But good old Fender, they just like to save money and go white. Okay, I know it looks a lot better the other way, and I would do it the other way, except for these will be sold at some point soon, and they are just not being touched. Okay, again, everything else is identical. Same bridge, same pickups, all the way throughout the entire run. Nothing but the gold lace sensors. And with Fender's contract, they had to say Fender lace sensor on them. Now, of course, they just say lace sensor because Fender doesn't have anything to do with this whole thing. But Fender tried to make the noiseless pickups by kind of trying to copy this, and they failed miserably, and they're on like their 3rd or 4th round of noiseless pickups, all which still suck, and these still kill them. Okay, so that is what it is. So here's this guitar, done exactly the same. I'm leaving the TBX in the middle. This is just to get all 6 of them on a video for one guy who asked to hear all of the guitars, and he just missed a couple, and apparently I missed a couple too. So, and to show you a couple of the weird colors, again, still got the brushed hardware. Okay, the standards, which were much like this but with a regular nut, all had chrome, same kind of, exact same hardware, exact same tuners, but they were just chrome, and these are just the brushed chrome. So everything looked like the bottom of the bridge there. So you can tell the difference. Again, if you ever see that bridge anywhere, or this nut anywhere on a guitar that they're saying was made in 1984, no, these were never made. When the Fullerton factory closed down back in '85, and then the Corona factory only produced a couple things. It was just strictly guitars being made over in Japan, Fender Japan, for 86 and 85, 86, sorry, and then 87 became when they started mass producing guitars again out of Corona, the new location. Was Corona making guitars in 85 and 86 while Japan was supposedly the only company? Yes, they were. They were hand making 85 and 86 guitars. That's the year. Just pumping out a couple a day, but they only did 1962 and 1957 Stratocaster reissues, just like the USA does, and I get sick of the reissues so much. If I see one more butterscotch telly with a black pick guard, or more of these 57 and 62 Strats with the sunburst finish on it, I'm going to puke. I refuse to own that garbage. Not that it's garbage, it's just that it's, God, it gets old. Get some imagination. Look at Japan, man. Those guys got some imagination. Hell, Squire has way better looking guitars than USA puts out. But back at this time, USA had some vision. So that's when they were cool. Okay, again, this was 1989 with the Wilkinson double roller nut there, okay, which is still a beautiful thing. I love this one too. They did have to cut away some of the bridge there, or the bridge, sorry, the fretboard to put these in. And if you want to get the LSR, yeah, you got to cut away part of the nut slot too, because they do not go straight in there. You have to cut some towards your frets to make them fit. So you have to cut away part of your fretboard to have them installed. So have them done by a pro, unless you know exactly what you're doing, then have a way at it. Okay? Okay, so here's this one, same thing. Just going through position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and of course they get nice and clean and pretty. Same thing, I'm not changing anything. The guitar is dimed out. I'm using my Boss CS3 compressor back there, and I've got a Morley volume pedal under my foot. You can do whatever you want to make it pretty. Okay, so all that stuff, blah blah blah. Okay, so here it is again at the neck position with the little bit, tiny bit of overdrive. Position, same setting. Okay, so great axe again. They are all going to sound identical. Again, I'm putting my toy away. Again, to remind those skeptics out there, rosewood fingerboards versus maple fingerboards, they sound no different whatsoever. There is zero difference. I've done that whole proof thing here with these guitars that are identical right next to each other. They make 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 difference in the sound of your guitar when it's plugged in. If it's unplugged, yes, you get a difference, but when it's plugged in, zero difference. Okay, now for the ones that are worth a buttload of money. This was one that was asked to be seen. Okay, here we got where I get to talk about fun things. This here's called Razzberry. It's almost pink. R-A-Z-Z berry. Expect to pay, especially for the first year, about $3,000 for this. Okay, because there's only a few out there. Again, this is actually right at the very end of 1997. And again, everything is the same as the last guitar you just saw. So, Razzberry, hard to say in this, but it is really actually almost a pink. What do I have that is colorful that I can put up next to this? It's easy to get to. This PRS is just wanting to hang on and not come out of its shell. But I will have to force it, I guess. And also, every one of these guitars came stock with the Schaller strap lock buttons on them. Okay, so if it has something else, something's wrong with it. This actually has some red in it. Okay, this Paul Reed Smith Budweiser thing. So you can see the red and the pink, kind of raspberry. So there's actual red here. Very intense light in here. So there's the difference between red and Fender's raspberry color. The thing is, they made this color a couple more times, but it is only the first year of the guitar where the huge premium is for this finish. So that's why I have these other finishes, because they are great investments. I'm more about investments than anything else at this stage in my life. Okay, so 1987. Here's what everything's about. See the serial number? It looks like 84. This is where all the music stores and the people on eBay and everybody else in the world gets this wrong. These are leftover necks from Fullerton. Okay, so these were not made in 84, these were made in 87. The only way to find out, pull the neck off, and the actual date it was made is written right under the end of the neck. Okay, the neck was actually made in 84, but they did not make this guitar and everything else on it until 87, and that's what will be written down here is 87. They don't put the date on the end of the headstocks until they actually put the guitar together. I have a 1979 Strat that has 80 and 81 parts and 83 parts and 84 parts, and was put together in 84. So they had to put 1984 as they were trying to scrap everything or put everything together to get ready to sell and move to a new company or a new factory. So again, this is 1987. Anytime you see the E4 on a USA made guitar, that's right, it means it's either 1987 or 1988, and the only way to find out is to pop the neck off and look what they wrote in pencil. They wrote it usually just in pencil at the end of the neck. Sometimes you'll see a stamp. It's just whatever was laying around, whatever John Cruz decided to grab or whoever and stamp it with. But the E4, try to find an actual 84 with that on it. You're not going to find it either. But this is, I believe, December of 87. Okay, so this is the way they looked then. And this one has never been played on camera by me, even though I've had it for a while. So again, the Raspberry in position number 1, everything exactly the same as before. Position 2. If anything sounds any different, it's just because I'm not pushing down as hard on my volume pedal as I did 2 seconds ago. Otherwise, they all sound identical. None of these guitars sound any better or worse than the other. They sound, you could take any of them and you wouldn't know the difference. Here's the middle. And 4 position. And 5. And 5 with a little bit of overdrive. Position. People will always say, man, that other guitar sounded better. It's generally because they just like the tunes I play better from one guitar to another. So I'm trying to stay away from playing much more than just the little Stevie Ray lick, and so you won't be biased and think one actually does sound better just because you like the song better. Okay, here is another that is extremely rare. This is called Graffiti Yellow. Okay, and again the first year, 1990 or 1987. I'm sorry, and with the rosewood fingerboard. So that is the most. This is all 4 of these that I'm showing you right now. The last one, and then this one, and then the next 2 are the most desirable finishes in the Strat Plus. Okay, Graffiti Yellow, 1987 is very important. Yeah, they made them other years, but this is the one everybody wants, and Rosewood Fretboard makes this one about $500 more than Maple Fingerboard. Just for this year. The rest of the year nobody gave a crap, and you can get them for $1,500 or $1,800 for any other year other than the E4, 1987. Look at all the other 7s in that number though. Kind of groovy, huh? And again, the full thing. This was October of 87. Okay, everything else is the same. 3 springs, 3 everything. These are all perfect, by the way. Not a single smudge, dent, ding, dang, dong, or anything on any of these 6 guitars. All perfect. And that's the way they're going to stay. Okay, so here's this one, position 1. These all sound the same, so if you want to skip through the video, you can. Just honoring a request is all. Position 1. Oh, I've got that thing on. Position 2. 3. back off of there. That again is Graffiti Yellow, and we are just months apart from each other here in 1987. Okay, again, here we go with the shell pink. Yep. We're looking at like August or September of 87. And then things get weird. Okay, there was one change right here as we get a little earlier. No more were they using the tuners from the other ones. These are shiny, well, they're brushed on the ends, same tips, but these were the Spurzels as we get earlier on. So the first few months they used the Spurzels, but they had the same brushed aluminum look. These are slightly shinier than the others, but this back is pure chrome, and then the nice black dot in the middle. That will signify that you're getting a lot closer to the beginning of the run in 1987. So unless somebody's trying to fake you out and just find these and put them on, which people do, it's just what it is. Again, this is shell pink. They made a few, or Pepto pink, some people like to call it. They made a few different pinks, so there are different variations. You can go online. One of my buddies has a great site devoted pretty much strictly to Strat Pluses, Ultras, Deluxes, all from this time period. Knows everything about them, and so therefore I know everything about them too. And here we go, position 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 5 with a little bit of overdrive, slightly. And position 2 with the same sound. Okay, same axe. What do they sound like with distortion? They sound like a Strat with distortion. Okay. Okay. What do they sound like really clean? They sound like a Strat really clean. Finally, see, this is another one of those, I don't know if I ever showed it on camera or not, and he asked me to, so I did. There it is. And the last one is the earliest one I have. Again, this Graffiti Yellow one here was one that Jeff Beck was supposed to have as his color. That's why it came out. It was supposed to be his. And then he ended up going with this color later, much later. But this color came out. And that's right, the surf green. And they made a few different colors of this green, about 5 different shades of this. But this is the one that's worth all the money. And this is the earliest I have, and this one came out like right when the Corona factory opened. So everything is again with the Spurzels. Okay, there you go, kiddies. And again, I don't know if I showed the serial number on the last one, but it's all the E4 stuff. E444130. Okay, so this is very early in the production of these, and the way you can find that out is it has the 3/4 nut the Wilkinson nut 3/4. So you can see it's actually cut away up here. So it goes across the E, G, and B strings, and then the low or the high string, whichever you want to call them, your low E, A, and D strings, they only go over the top of one roller, and then they just go to the again height compensated tuners. So again, no need for any kind of string trees at all. But they changed this, as you could tell, right in the middle of this. So they tried this Wilkinson nut for about 2 or 3 months, then they went to the other ones where they went all the way across like this. So if you find it with this type of nut on it, either somebody changed it or you found a very early one, which will command a premium, but especially if you add it with a finish like this, which you pay dearly for. Again, you're looking at $3 grand to buy this right now, even in the recession that we're in. Okay, yeah, I had to pay that for it. So when it goes back up, it's going back up. If I'm still alive, if not, my wife gets the money, and God bless her. Okay, so again, nothing will be any different. Exact same pickups, same bridge, same everything, same body, everything is the same. Like I said, the Spurzels were there, and now the 3/4 Wilkinson nut, and we're in position 1, same stuff. Position 2. I love screwing up too. Get this out of my way. Position 3. Position 4. Position 5. Which of course is going to be everybody's favorite sound when it comes to the Stevie Ray licks. So there's what they sound like in all the positions. Okay, 5 again with the little bit of Stevie overdrive, and it's not much. And position 2. I know, it's supposed to be an A, but so be it. Superb axis. And again, if you want to get country, okay, of course. And if you want to get real country, go back to the 4. And if you want to get twangy country, just, of course, all the sounds you could ever want, and some you don't want. And, of course, these for the kids. Okay, I had to end on the worst sound I have. Okay, So let's just get it back to reality and let the guitar have a little respect. Okay, of course I didn't expect this video to be more than 10 minutes long, but with me, hey, I last all night. So ladies, get used to it. My wife loves me. I know. Why? I don't know. Again, so there you go, my friend. A look at the six Fender Stratocaster, okay, the Strat Plus. Okay, there are other renditions around here, like I said, that I'm holding on to. Here's a custom shop from back then, which like nobody else has. Sure, you've seen the Dick Dales and the other ones with the gold sparkles, but try to find one. That's right, the Strat Ultra in that finish. Craziness, craziness, craziness. Back to the Spurzels to make it cool. And again, it's a custom shop deal. And got 2 golds, then 2 blues here. So could not include it in this little demo. This cool one, which also has all gold. It says Fender licenses on them still. 1996, yeah. So, right there. Check that puppy out. This is the Ventures model, so you got the Tbx Tone Control here, and then like a 12 dB mid boost via the 9 volt that's stuck in the back here. But again, 3 gold lace sensors. Cool guitars. These Venture ones, they go up to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 depending on who's selling them. They made this, the Jizz Master, and the Jazz Bass for all of them, but more of these guitars up here. But there you go. So thanks for asking. I've also got the Jazz Bass Plus. So, you know, again, all the Plus guitars were just amazing. If you ever get a chance to land one, try one. The lace sensors are what sold me way back when. You can't beat them. You really can't. And then again, everybody's preferences are different. Some people yank them out and toss in some noisy things. And again, the lace sensors are noiseless. They don't make noise. So major hum canceling. And again, no pesky magnets in there that will screw up with your, or screw your string drag. So you can put your pickups wherever you want them, and they pick up more of an area than do typical single coil pickups. Here's my 1979, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84 guitar that they made. Probably the very last Antigua Strat probably ever produced right here. This is honest to God's truth, because they were getting ready to sell, and it's marked 1984. Of course, we have our well, we got the 82 neck. They of course did not make these in 82, 3 or 84 as it's marked. And then we got some 79 components in there. We got 80 and 81 pickups, 80, 80, 81. The body's 1979, of course, and just the last one I ever made. Anyway, what I was going to was you get these with the pole pieces in them, and they have the magnets right here, so your string wants to ring directly over top of that pole piece, but then again it wants to stop ringing above it because that magnet is causing it to stop ringing, so it plays against you. And then of course your strings go in between two while you're bending it, and you actually have a dropout, not so huge that you can majorly hear, but it does happen. With the lace sensors, they cover straight across, just like your bar pickups that have the rails across them would. So it's a much better design with the lace sensor pickups. And Lace makes a gazillion type of pickups. They have these Alumatone pickups that are out now, which are totally horrible. So I strongly advise anybody against Alumatone of any kind for your bass, for your guitar, for anything, because they suck horribly. Lace had made some guitars for a while, or had some made for them, which were ridiculous. And I've got one right here to show you. These have the hot gold pickups, but here's the Batman Mobile. These are what all of them were shaped like. Every lace guitar and every lace bass was shaped like this and have these big data knobs on them here. That's just a tone control, and that's a tone control. And you got a volume control under here. But they were just made overseas, and then they had their pickups put in it, but nobody at the lace shop ever saw these. They just wanted a way to get their pickups out there. So they never made these. They just, like everybody else in America, outsourced it to the point where nobody had a job in America. So, shame on you, Lace, as much as anybody. Bring the jobs back here, kids. Okay, so there you go, my friend. You guys always see this palette of these Strats back here. Everybody's like, how come you keep having the same guitar, but they're all different? Why would you even want a whole bunch of the same guitars? And I have to tell you, it's because, if anybody's watching at this point, these are investments, kids. These are my insurance policies, and you should see my insurance policy. Anyway, this is retirement. That's what all these guitars are, retirement. I've got 5 or 6 that I'll keep after 2012, which is when I'm selling everything again. And you see these pastel colors back here all the time, and think, wow, how fruity. But these are the ones that fetch the most money, so that's why they're here. Is it because I love those colors? No, it's because they cost a lot and they're worth a lot, and people will continue to pay for them. I don't generally like Gibson guitars for so many reasons, but yet I've got, 40 or 50 over here, and same with the Fenders, and then so many of all the other things. But it's just, I know these guitars are constantly appreciating in value, so I keep the ones that I actually would play on stage. I don't collect a guitar that I would never play on stage. So that's why you see no 62s or 57 actual guitars here, or a 58 Les Pauls. Like, I would not want one for anything. Of course they're collectible, but I want only guitars that I would actually be caught dead playing on stage. So any guitar I have, yes, I would play it on stage. And I might, even though these are staying right here, I might just get a hair up my butt, take one to a gig that I know that nobody's going to be messing with anything, and whip it out. So there's that chance, and I've done that a couple times on some guitars that have no business being outside of a controlled climate like I have here. So again, just rambling because I can, and I've still got to do another video tonight. I've got a few that I promised some other people that I'm not going to get to, and I'll get to it tomorrow or the next day, I promise. You know who you are. And that's it. So Strat Pluses, 6 of them there for you to just kind of look at and get a little history on, for those who care about history. Everybody else, quit saying, hey, it's too damn long. Just there's a little timeline button over there. Click and go through it, and then be done with me when the guitar playing is done. Okay, so there you go, to the one person who asked for it. Enjoy that video. Okay, that's it, and I'm out of here till a couple minutes from now. Okay, take care. Thanks for the request too. Enjoyed dusting them off and tuning them for the first time in about 5 years. So fun for me. Bye.